lot of details to it. They're managing that whole process, they have all the equipment, and those people do that all day, every day, because of the magnitude of the volume that they have to do. So, and we talked with him recently, and we're investigating what that would mean here, and how that could apply to us. So we haven't got into, we piggyback in that order or anything like that yet.
Yeah, because
We
you
gotta get-
mentioned he's going out into other communities and working with those communities, because if you can keep my neighboring community healthy, their community stays healthy.
He didn't seem as encouraged to come all the way to a Commonwealth. But he has a good concept, there's no question about it.
Still though, John, I mean,
Yes.
just, simple mathematics would say that it's going to take $136,000 to take down 273 trees. And if it's $70 per tree to treat, that's only $19,000 to treat those trees. And they don't have to be treated annually. So from a numbers standpoint, I really don't understand how it's more cost effective to take those trees down just from an economic standpoint over treating those trees.
And the beauty of our city, where, that beauty of the canopies, where,
These comments are really leading into the next slide. Those other ideas and the legacy fund that we're aware of. And I think what we have talked about as a team is, okay, we have our current options, and they're all options. But what else can we do, and how can we find a way to help preserve trees when appropriate? I think that's the key, because there's going to be some out there that it's going to be difficult. There's others that have a very good chance of being prolonged. So what we are going to be doing is addressing this a similar concept of what you're talking about. We don't have the labor and the resources today to necessarily do all the treatments ourselves, so we have to figure out how we can contract that as an option. All right, or if we were to do it, what resources could we include in our budget to be able to implement that? So we've talked about that, and then ultimately, and Lou's been involved too, so, and I appreciate Lou being here tonight. The second piece of that is we need to then look at all the economic stuff that you just talked about and say, okay, we still need to plant trees in our community, regardless of just the 200 plus ash trees. We have plenty of spaces for them, so we need to keep that initiative moving forward for sure. Maybe not to the 28,000, maybe something that can be used for something else, but we probably need to address this issue specifically and make it a discussion with the common council as part of our budgeting process, so we have the resources to do it right. That's really where we are today. I'm not against anything that you've talked about today. What I really appreciate is your interest in trying to preserve this and sharing things.
the thing that's been so beautiful is we've won the tree city thing for so many years. Now downtown has no trees. Downtown, the street now, we've replaced all of them, way up and down, the main street, down Wisconsin. But our four corners, where our green is, there's got to be a way to still plan having during the Christmas market and stuff, and bringing those buildings in with trees planted in our. It's really, I know, it's sad because we've had our tree. We've been known for this tree community, and now we have our buildings keep going up and everything. We're losing tree after tree after tree. And yes, you are planting them, but they're going to the subdivisions, which are going outside of our downtown. We have to preserve the quaint beauty of Oconomowoc, and by pulling a lot of these were just flat ones, just for example, and the ones that are these older, more mature neighborhoods, we really should take the effort to save them as much as we can. It'd be like your grandma, she was in the hospital, you're going to do everything to get her whatever treatment you can, and not just say you're 100 years old or 60 or 80 years old, bye-bye. We'll cut you down and get a new grandma for, it's an inch and a half, 2 inches, I'm sorry, but, you don't want, I'm serious, we gotta try to save them first.
Your point's taken.
Are you going to put that in the paper?
Not a ground part.
Yes.
What are you doing at Fowler Park where you cut, clear cut right along the sidewalk, all the trees that had to be taken? Yeah, I know they have to be taken down, but are we gonna plant something all along there then to make it beautiful again?
We're not gonna plant right along the sidewalk edge because that's not a good spot as far as root growth. We might plant something a little further down.
Will they be like a larger tree, like oaks or maples or something large? Because everything you put in Fowler Park is very small. It's like some pines.
It'll be 1.5 inches mullen burlap.
Yep, I don't bigger one, but I mean it's maturity wise, so will they be like oaks and maples, big
Oh, yeah,
heart, you know?
absolutely.
Because
We have
right
some-
now, that
We do
part,
have some, actually at our yard right now that, are some staple oak trees that we plan on planting this spring sometime yet.
yeah, 'cause I feel like everything that's been put in Fowler Park seems to be like ornamental trees, which are beautiful, but we
Yeah.
need some large,
Oh, yeah.
you know, trees in that
Plus a
park.
couple big beautiful
Yeah.
oaks to storms and it's just devastating.
And now you guys, are we under the understanding everything, kind of the emerald ash borer, unless you're totally ready to fall down? Is this on hold until you figure out what's going on?
Well, in your neighborhood specifically.
I know that, but I'm just saying,
We're
within
we're
our
evaluating
contract,
all of
too.
it. If we have, I'll get your question next time, like a second.
Before I forget it, please. I've been trying for 5 minutes.
Sorry. We're gonna address the city as a whole. So, your question.
Longevity, what's the longevity of this issue with the EAB? Are we thinking 10 years and it'll be over with, or
I don't think it's
Like
ever
plant
over.
a tree.
what?
No, that's not what
No,
they
the
say.
question is, the elm tree, Dutch elm disease, it kind of came and wiped everything out. There were some elm
It's
trees
still
that
around.
survived.
It's still around.
Okay, so you're thinking that the borer will still be around 10, 20 years from now?
So that means we'd have to treat these trees continually,
Yes.
and that's where the
Until
cost
we had
issue is.
evidence that they're no longer around, which is your point, right? There might be a point in time that they're not here. I can't project that.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of how many years we'd have to treat these trees, cost effective, to keep the tree
Once you start, you need to continue.
Yeah.
right, and if we're talking 10
And
years,
that's
that
part of
would
the
be,
formula, that's part of what you
Right.
have to think about.
right,
And that's the big
And
picture.
then, and we've talked to Milwaukee and Minneapolis and other communities,
Mhm.
how long has it been doing this?
They have a 20-year plan.
But I mean, when did they start? Like, how many years ago did they start?
I'm not sure when.
I don't know the answer to that question.
It's,
It's obviously call and find out. You know how long?
I forgot to ask that.
Just to kind of know and
I
see
think
where the
that
trees are.
they're like 3 to 5 years in from what I kind of recall.
Milwaukee is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did not ask that question.
Yeah, just real quick.
Next question?
I was at a League of Municipalities meeting last fall, and there were some communities that were decimated with the EAB to a point where economically it put them at jeopardy. And then there's other communities that have more resources, like Milwaukee, where you got $1 million a year to throw at the issue. So every community is different in regards to when they started, because when it appeared, and then what they can do to deal with it based on the severity of it.
They use the discrete stormwater management fund, so they went and looked for parts, because it was a good filtration system for the lake, so their balance was, do we take all the trees down and put storm sewers in versus keep the trees alive and keep the filtration natural?
So we're gonna look at this from this public street tree and park tree perspective, and that's all we really can manage. I think the bigger issue, and this is part of the education process for our community, is that there are a lot of other ash trees that are on private property that property owners are gonna be responsible for and have to deal with, and all the things we talked about today would be options to them as well. And the canopy is gonna be affected drastically if everybody's not involved in the process. So we have, what would we say, 25, whatever the number was, in Merchants Plat. I'm
29.
sure there's more than 25 private ones.
29.
29, thank you. 29 street trees in the other. Okay.
I have a suggestion, but if you guys do this, and hopefully you will, start treating the city trees, couldn't you start like a profit-making enterprise instead of treating private trees and make a little bit of money doing it? Because you're already the experts.
We would have to really look into all the, well, not just the legalities, but the financial side of that too. Because if we were gonna become the provider of that type of service in our city, now we're looking at budget numbers, probably not as drastic as Milwaukee, but it could start to elevate to levels that could be
Right,
challenging.
maybe it's like a paid for,
I
like,
understand that. But we still have to have the labor and the resources, and we have to commit to that and the equipment and everything else. So we have to work through that.
There's a
We've
storm.
never played that role in our community before. If the council thinks that that's a good idea and we can justify it, you know, it would be something that we could consider. I haven't heard that yet, but it could change.
I'll go out on a limb a little bit on council, if, talk to your alderman, if you think that's something that you'd like to, because that's a policy thing beyond John's scope necessarily, and that's where that should go.
We have to obviously share information with the council so
Right.
they can make a decision, but they're the ones that are ultimately going to decide that, so I think these comments are fair. Any other questions that we could at least answer tonight?
What are we doing in the short term to prevent those 29 trees in Merchant Flat from being cut down?
Well, we've committed today to do this, not do anything at this point, and to look at what all of our options are. So the two of us control when that work could or would occur.
And what about restaurants?
Well, we're the ones that make that decision as well. So if there's any tree, regardless of species, but ash in particular, because that's the topic tonight, if it's a hazard and it's to a point that it just isn't appropriate to keep it anymore, you probably will see us remove those trees. We are not 100% to that point on every ash tree in this community right now.
But
We've
may,
identified trees in your neighborhood that have it. Now we have to decide what we're going to do.
all the stuff I read on the inoculants say that May's the prime time to do it for 70% efficacy. I mean, if we keep waiting and dragging, even if we start inoculating, your results aren't as effective.
They do it all summer.
I know, but
But
we
it's
just
gotta-
read that.
It's got an uptake, and usually they can tell right away if it's not gonna work real well. And then they come back after a rain or something, you know, where the tree's more willing to uptake the chemical.
Yeah, and the triage they use is a trunk application, so you,
Yeah.
Well, this is an option that's available today.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So if the neighborhood, say merchants want to get together and they want to do their own tree, at least the first year before the city became the policy that they're doing, we could do that and tell you that we're doing that. After we get approval, we get approval from the city.
Yep, so you fill out the request
Yeah,
form,
the request form.
and then we come out, and we give you the form that you have to have filled out with whoever you contract to do it, or whatever you're choosing to do.
That,
And then that gets come back to us, and the process is started. 2 years from now, if it's a 2-year cycle as an example, we will have some policy decisions made by then, and then we would know what has been done, and we could either take that over, if authorized to, or continue to do the process.
what's the turnaround time, John, for a year to look at the request form and pull it?
Well, we've already looked at all these trees, so in this particular case here, it'd be pretty quick.
Okay. Perfect, thanks.
So if your group or the individual chooses to move forward, you know, fill out that form and get it into our office immediately, and Brian will get in touch with you, and we can go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just want to do a site visit, that way I can confirm, oh yeah, you got it, definitely.
And they're beautiful trees.
Not only just that, but other things as
Yeah,
well.
the ones in merchants, at least the public residents, all in market.
Correct. If you're gonna do it, in the one that's in the street, you gotta think about what you want on your property too, and if you work together, you might get a better bang for the buck,
I
somebody
do.
never know.
I spoke with Aspen Ridge Landscaping. One thing Ian Brown did say is use the Wisconsin Arborist Association because they were already vetted and insured.
Yeah, I'd be very weary of
Yeah.
fly-by-night guys that
Yeah.
come by and say, hey, I'll treat your tree, and half the time they don't know what it is they're even treating or right time of the year. A lot of those things are taken into factor. Yes?
So do you have a list of recommended or ideas of who to contact? Thank you.
If you go on
It's
the
just the
Wisconsin
Waukesha
Arborist
County.
Association
That's what it
website,
is, for
they have a
Waukesha
list
County.
of certified arborists
That's all.
and companies, and I would suggest contacting
That's
them.
what we
There's a
recommend.
ton of
We
companies
don't
around
pick,
this area.
we don't pick specific companies because
Yeah,
it just
really can't.
creates problems.
Ultimately, go ahead.
Change this process. I mean, we're given three options. Of course, the first option is completely ridiculous, from anyone's perspective. The second option is for the city $100. And the third option is for the homeowner to pay to treat the tree. Even though, if you look at it, the city could treat all 29 trees in Merchants Plat for the same cost that it would take to remove 4 trees. So I don't understand why option 3 is at the homeowner's expense, when it really is much more economical for the city to treat those 29 trees than just to remove 4.
That could be something that you bring to council for consideration, if required, for expense allocation, or however you want to deal with that.
And then what about the trees in the parks? Who would, people, like, attach themselves to these trees? Ah, that's my tree, I'm gonna save that tree. And they-
Well, that's why we do the legacy tree fund.
Okay.
You can go ahead and, if you want to voice that, it just goes right to the city. If they want to partake in that.
I would suggest, you know, as an alderman, and one of the reasons I ran to represent my district was to help with communication associated with this type of topic and others. So I'm really appreciative to John and his department for having this meeting and giving everybody a chance to share their concerns, get educated. If you weren't, share the education that you've gathered, so we can work more together than historically I've seen, where something just happens and you don't get a chance to have learned about what the options were, and we go down a road that you can't reverse. And when you lose that 30-year-old, 50-year-old, 100-year-old tree, and you're left standing on the sidewalk with your jaw on the ground. So I think hopefully this meeting shows you that the city and our professionals are really engaged in this process, and that you're not going to see a truck with a bunch of guys out there tomorrow clear-cutting everything that's been identified, and that we're really looking for this input.
I think that, coming back to your question, it's a valid question, is we really need to have a conversation with the council if we're going to go into the tree program. And the reason why is that the initial cost is the 500 that you referred to, and potentially 150 to plant a new tree. So we're 650 in. But to treat the tree, it's perpetual. It's going to last longer than the first treatment. So we have to make sure we educate them and they understand that when we go down that road, we have to commit to go down that road. And they have to understand what those long-term expenses could be. Because it sounds good for 1 year, but we all know it's not 1 year. It's going to continue, and that's why I need to go through that process with them before we just do anything. So I think an option, you know what's available. If you want to do something now to at least buy some time for the trees in your area, we have options to do that. And then we will go through the policy process with our budgeting process this year with our common council, which in theory would make funds available for us to do something like this starting in 2019.
And from a council standpoint, I would tell you, and I've seen some of the yard signs. That's good for public education, and that's nice. Emails and phone calls to your alderman really do carry a lot of weight, because there's a lot that goes on in the city, and it's got to mean something to somebody to actually put a voice to it, because so much doesn't get a voice to it. So if you're looking to give some direction, I would tell you education, what's going on, the department head policy, direct them to your alderman. That's why we're here. Yep, absolutely.
And another thing.
This gentleman had a question too. Thank you.
What's involved in treating the tree? Is it like planting and drilling and pumping, or is it just watering around the bottom of the tree, or injecting in the ground? Or?
There are a couple different ways to do it. You can do what they call kind of like a granular application. So you peel the bark away, or the mulch that's around the tree, if you had mulch. You peel that away and you do a granular application around the tree following the label on whatever chemical that you're using. Imidacloprid seems to be a pretty popular one, at least for the homeowner market, and that's on certain size trees. You don't want to do them, anything larger than 20 inches in diameter. I'd stay away from, I'd go from the 18 up, 18 inches in diameter up. I'd have a contractor do anything that size requires. But involves that, or like if the contractor's doing it, what they do is they do inject in the tree at the base of the trunk. So they are creating those wounds around the tree in order to get that chemical octane. But the chemical, it depends on the chemical that the company you hire uses. Some chemicals are 1 year, some are 2. I wouldn't stretch out any more than 2.
The UW extension has a list of insecticide treatment options, and there's some good information on that.
I did a bunch of the UW extension stuff that also talks about the treatments. The granular stuff's hard on dogs. The city of Milwaukee, I'm using them just because I'm talking to them, is they use the drill. And they say that actually heals over pretty quickly.
They've had success with that.
Yeah.
Trees don't heal, they cover
They
over.
fill in.
They cover over is what they do, yeah. Once you create a wound, the wound is always there.
Granular probably isn't a great option.
Not for
Mhm.
Baby dogs
Yeah.
and little kids.
And little
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the whole key is you have to educate yourself a little bit on what those other impacts are.
Right, yeah. You put the granular down, and then after you peel it away, and then you put the rubber back over it. But still, dogs
Yeah.
nose around.
Your question?
Yeah, so the canopy, I understand, like, being an outsider, I was not really a this report. I see all of your guys' issues, and then I see the city issue is what happens so long as the way we cut down these trees, like you have to cut it down, it's like, my understanding is the way longer the forest spreads, possibly there more ash trees spread. Is that something the city?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if we treat the public trees only, all the other ash trees in the community can still spread this. That's the challenge.
It is, yeah. The bug's still gonna be around.
The treatment is gonna preserve that tree as the goal for as long as possible through the application of that annual or biannual process. But it's like anything, if the tree next to it's not treated, the tree across the street's not treated, these bugs don't just stay, they fly. And they can move around, which is why it's just exploding everywhere. It's very, very difficult to stop.
Yeah.
If you
You
look
almost
at
can't.
forested areas that have a lot of ash in them, that's another place that harbors the insect. That insect is gonna be around. People aren't gonna be treating their forests with, for emerald ash borers, because a lot of them just don't have the resources to do it. And they have so many in there, they have 30 acres. And few acres are ash trees. They're gonna lose those ash trees.
It's a tough issue.
It's a very tough issue, but forested areas are certainly the most effective as well, especially up north.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time out of your Tuesday night to come and